G'day SRL and welcome to the opening match of round 9, where the top of the table Souths will be heading up north to visit the top of the bottom 8 Brisbane. And we've got a highly anticipated clash here. I am your host Blair Curtin, and with me in the commentary box is Daniel Hellyeah. Danny, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
Yeah, really excited to see these two teams play. Rabbitohs 7-1 so far this season, great record. And the Broncos still pretty good record, 4-3. Got the win last week against the Bulldogs. And yeah, it's going to be a great clash tonight.
Couldn't agree with you more, Danny. 4-3, a lot of congestion with the ladder on that record. Brisbane looking to go to 5-3, which will put them in the box for a top 8 position as they head to the back end of the season. Who do you reckon needs to step up here, mate?
I think Liam Ryan needs to have a pretty big game today. Obviously, Wilmot, you'd probably say he's been the form fullback of the comp so far. So I think Liam Ryan has to step up and match his game.
Wilmot, of course, he'll be looking for an Origin jersey as he kicks us off. Heading down to the left of screen, and it's Jay with the first run, hit up from the halfback. Well handled by the defence, but he did make some post-contact meters. Carl in the 13, onto Dingo. It's come off a South player, but Charlie Rossini's come up with it. Charlie Rossini's away. Charlie Rossini breaks a tackle, but he's now been wrestled to the deck. What an opening set. It's second tackle. Brisbane on South 20, they go short side. Finding Lachlan Martin. Martin wrestles it up to the 10. Half the set, only 10 metres go. Davis gets it on to Murray. Murray takes on the line. He'll be flipped on his back. Metres short. It's not last. It's only fourth. As Rossini looks at it, it gets driven back. I'm not sure what he thought he was doing. It's last now. They're 3 metres out. Off to Jay in the pocket. Jay puts it high for his winger. It's going to a contest, but it's well handled there by Luka Magic. And Danny, what a set to open the game.
Yeah, Broncos, bit of luck there for the ball coming back to them as Wilmot makes a very nice break. Wilmot's away here. Wilmot caught. But yeah, great set from them. Lucky with that ball bounce to get all those yards, but some of those break tackles, they're just falling off like flies there, the Rabbits.
Well, both teams don't seem to be defending particularly well early on as they turn it back inside to Walmsley. Charlie Rossini, who did make that big break, of course. Be interesting to see where he plays with Eddie Oliver coming up as Wilmot throws a step and gets past one. But Oliver coming in from the Sharks in return for, I believe it's Madden, one of the wingers. So potentially a bit of congestion in the spine as Vin Meritain, we've been told his surname's pronounced, puts it down to Madden, the man who's playing his last game for the Broncos. And the set starts again on the 20. Comes inside to Micaiah. Micaiah pushing forward, 25 out. Rossini onto Carl. Carl onto Ryan. Pirouettes through the line, but the defence is having none of it. Wrapped up 29 metres out. Halfway through the set, they haven't made so many metres in this one. As Jay dishes it on to Murray. Murray, good leg driving that tackle, but it's made one-on-one. Almost to the 40. Do they go for the 40-20 here? Yes, they do. Caleb Jay's put it very deep. Jay's gone long. It's got the angle, but I don't think it has the distance, and Wilmot scoops it up and brings it back to end another set. Reckon the early kick was the play there, Danny?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good kick there. And just finds the grass, making his team a lot of yardage there. And the Broncos doing a really good job in defense so far, holding the Rabbits down their own end. Oh.
I think that's the first accidental offside call I've seen in either. Well, bit of a curious one there because it's... I think this is going to be successful.
The ball is knocked backwards to challenge.
But it's still an accidental offside.
Yeah, the refs refs are not having a great night so far.
Oh, and we see the footy gods with the square up.
Maybe they wanted Broncos to get the ball.
Maybe. The gods of football Olympus.
Ooh.
As Carl gets hit in a heavy tackle. Lots of physicality early on. But it's 0 tackle. This tackle count has reset from 0 to 0. But good defence there from South makes sure the Broncos make no meters. Carl wrestled down 15 metres out. And they go left again. Lachlan Martin caught very flat-footed. Luckily, he didn't try to get that pass away. Otherwise, I think it would have been forward. Halfway through the set, 10 metres out. Carl shapes the pass but runs. He's dragged down by 2 men, just short of the line. Rossini goes right. Someone's been hit off the ball. And Dingo's kept it, but he's lost metres there. Last tackle. Do they go high or do they go for the turf? They go for the turf. It's been scooped up by Mackay, but it's still last, and he's brought down 2 metres short of the line. Danny, pretty good there for the most part, you'd have to think.
Yeah, definitely. The Broncos looking pretty good with the footy early on. Probably unlucky to get points. That kick just needed to find its way through the line, and they might have got some points. Yeah,
as Corey Bell goes for a scoot out of dummy half. An offside marker or two, but no way through the defensive line as it heads out to Dixon. Tackle 4. They're still inside the 10. The Broncos' defence is brutal in their set. Butterfield takes it up into the teeth, and he makes the most metres of anyone in this set, and they're almost at the 20. Do they go the 20-40? It's on to Coleman. Coleman sends it deep, but he sends it midfield. And it's fielded by Ryan on the Broncos 40. He stepped through the line. He's away. Shut the front gate. It's going to be under the post. Liam Ryan opens the scoring for the Brisbane Broncos. Danny. Excuse me. What a try.
Yeah, great try from Liam Ryan there. Just gassing the Rabbits fullback, Ryan Wilmot. And this explodes onto his right foot. Beats 2 open pastures from there, and great try from him. You don't really want to kick to him straight on like that, but mistake from the Rabbits there.
Well, you'd have to say that try was created by that amazing defensive set, as Liam Ryan also adds the extras from his own try. 6-0 Brisbane, 11 almost, or 10 and a half gone. But yeah, it was really that defensive effort there from Brisbane. You know, I think that was Coleman taking that kick. He was doing it from his 20. And Liam Ryan, like, when he's just given that much room and that much opportunity, he's not going to miss out, is he, Danny?
No, definitely not.
As Rossini fields it, he's not been traded, but you got to wonder, will he ask maybe for some movement to get back into the 9 jersey at another club? As Martin hits it up well. Second tackle, 30 metres. Rossini darts out of dummy half. Makes 10 metres. Makes more than 10 metres. It's 15. Closer to 20 by the end of the run. Third tackle. Almost at the halfway. Madden dishes it out, or inside, I should say, to Davis. He's 5'8". Fourth tackle, Rossini darts again. He's making a lot of metres, but he's thrown an absolute shocker, an intercept ball. And Joshua Lowe's on it. Ball goes back to South Sydney. Bell decides to take a run and make some metres as well. Dummy half. A lot of running in these last couple of sets as it heads on to Freeburn. Freeburn wrestle down. You got to assume that they're not going to run from dummy half again, and Corey Bell heads inside, and it gets turned in for Walmsley. Fourth tackle, halfway up between the tram tracks. It's Coleman dishes onto Van Meritain. Van Meritain onto Willamette, but Willamette well handled by Brisbane defence again. It's last tackle. He's playing on the 50. It's back to Van Meritain. It's hit one of his own players. It's an absolute shocker. Carl's away this time. Carl doesn't have anyone in front of him. And Carl's going to put one under the black dot as well. Daddy, what happened there? It's just all happening off bad South Sydney kicks.
Yeah, shank of a kick there from the Rabbits. Jack Carl just picking up the pieces and running about 40 metres. No one got close to him. The acceleration from the lock forward. Yeah, great stuff there from the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 bad kicks in a row from South Sydney, and 2 times Brisbane have capitalised. South Sydney not playing like the top team, and I'm really not sure what that South player was applauding, because it certainly isn't their kicking efforts over the last couple sets. As Wilmette puts it on the tee to get us back underway. 14 and a half gone. Broncos almost having caught up with the clock. Sends it deep into his right. Fielded by Davis, who hits it up, gets past one South defender who doesn't commit to making a tackle, but brought down by 24 metres out. Gets onto Ryan. Ryan's made a break, but the other Ryan, Wilmette, will take him down. Fullback stuck at marker. Can they make a break? Onto Anthony Lee. Anthony Lee can't break through the line, but they're halfway through the set. 52 out from their line. Rossini takes another dart, gets to the South's 40. Played on to Lee. Lee makes a break as well. He's taken a step, but well handled by a second line of Brisbane South Sydney defence. Slow to get up. Ref's not having a bar of it though. Comes down to Davis. Crossfield punt, and it'll be handled by Freeburn. Freeburn well wrapped up. Danny, pretty clinical set after points.
Yeah, that was a great set from the Broncos, and they've done everything right so far this game, just completing their sets, getting through the defensive workload and scoring points, of course, being up by 12. And the Rabbits, well, they really need to start getting a move on. This game's going faster and faster, and still haven't really fired a blow yet.
They haven't as well. Matt's brought down. Fourth tackle. Do they go for the 40-20? Yes, it's Coleman in the pocket. I think he's going for the 40-20. It's got a decent angle, but does it have the power? No, it doesn't. Ryan fields it. Brings it back across the 30, almost to the 40. Makes it to the 40 in post-contact meters. First tackle. Very, very well played. Heads out to the winger. Winger's made a break. Winger's been wrestled. He's flirting with the touchline. He's brought down, but he's brought down in. Madden plays the ball. Rossini stares at it for a moment. Gets it on to Martin, who takes it up into the teeth. Brought down on the 30, right in the middle of the tram tracks. Sweet play. Davis on to Murray. Murray handled well by South Sydney defence there. Not great meters. Rossini goes right again, but it's back inside to Carl. Carl hitting it up well, but after a very dangerous start to the set, Brisbane lost their way a bit. It's fifth tackle, played 35 out, crossfield kick, bounces once, fielded by Luka Magic. Luka Magic is pushed back into his in goal, and Danny, not the start of the set South Sydney wanted.
Yeah, that was a great kick there. Just pins it into the corner. Luka Magic trying to get out of his end zone. Probably should have taken it on the full, and I think it was Kai Madden who made the tackle. Beautiful effort to get him back in.
Yeah, great work there by Madden as Micaiah hits it up. Rossini is taking the dart, but the defence are wise to it this time, perhaps a little bit too slow. Davis decides to take a dummy half run as well. Not much going on with the dummy half runs in this set so far. So they decide to pass the ball. A much better play as Martin takes it up about 10 metres. Fourth tackle goes on to Phillips. Phillips on to Jay. Not really the play you want your halfback getting in going into last tackle. But that's the play they get. Rossini dishes it to Carl. Carl kicks from lock. It's high. It's between the tram tracks on the 10, and Dylan Murray feels it well and ridden down hard there by the Brisbane defence. Daddy, bit less direction in the last couple sets from Brisbane, do you feel?
Yeah, well, Caleb J can't be taking those fourth tackle hit-ups. I mean, Jack Carl, while he is a sensational lock, he's not really known for his kicking, and if you're trying to get him to kick on the last instead of your halfback, I don't think that's a very wise play, and I think they need to get their halves more involved.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I think I'd remind you, Danny, that even when Gilly was a half, he wasn't particularly well known for his kicking then either.
I mean,
first tackle almost.
Depends what you're known for. If you're known for shanking it.
Indeed. 45 metres out, second tackle, middle of the field. Rossini on to Tegi. We have had the substitutes. but they haven't made much of an impact so far. Stingo wrapped up halfway along. Jay onto number 15, makes good meters, a lot of them post-contact. His fourth tackle, Caleb J. Oh, he's going to hit it up on the fourth again, gets in a wrestling match with Corey Bell, makes good meters, but what is the halfback thinking? As Rossini goes back to Davis in the pocket, Davis is going to go for the winger Luka Magic again. Luka Magic pirouettes through the line, forces Liam Ryan to get involved, and brought down in a two-man tackle, 28 metres out. Bell onto Lowe. Lowe hits it up. Good contact, good drive, brought down almost at the 40. This is a good-looking set so far from South. Bell goes right onto Van Meritain. Back inside to Willamette as Van Meritain gets a nasty hit, but Willamette can't do much with the ball. Halfway through the set, 45 metres out. Onto Lowe, onto Sharp. Sharp hits it up, but again, not many metres in that hit-up. It's fourth. You really feel that South wanted to do better than that as Papadopoulos brought down. He makes great metres in that run. A good 15. Last tackle onto Van Meritain, who heads down the wing of Holmes, and a little half-break, but he's written down there, Danny. Better play from South Sydney, do you feel?
Yeah, it was a good kick from them. South Sydney slowly getting back into this game and winning the field position battle. Broncos probably just need to keep going the way they're going in the first 20 minutes, I guess. I mean, they've sort of lost their way a bit, but yeah, I don't think it'd be very hard for them to get back, as that is a risky ball.
Yeah, not really the ball you'd want to be firing to your fullback, given he was completely flat-footed rather than on the sweep. As Jay takes the kick, the 40-20 might be on here, but Freeburn's there to field it on the full. Pirouettes into the line and makes it to the 40. Momentum starts to swing in South's direction, and Danny, do you reckon 12 points is enough to hold off the first place South Sydney?
12 points isn't enough, but if they can get another two tries maybe, I'd say that would be enough to probably beat them.
Ooh, 24 points is a big one as we reach fourth and Walmsley throws a big fend. Have we seen a 24-0 in this latest iteration of SRL 2.0?
I don't mean 24-0, I mean like 24 points in general. Like,
Well, that's...
Yeah.
Okay, yep, that's fair. All right. So, first team to 24 is going to win this year, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't think both teams will score 24, so...
Makes sense. All right, and look, Brisbane's halfway there, so you've got to feel they're in the box seat to achieve that as we reach the 30-minute mark of the game. Very risky, very flat ball inside there to Jack Carl. Fourth tackle, do they go for the mousetrap? We do have Davis in the pocket. I don't think he's got either the angle or the legs on that to make a 40-20 though. And he does it, and Will Metz on the sweeping play gets close to the touchline. We saw Luke Short run out about 2 kicks in a row a couple of weeks in an Eels game, so we know that the fullbacks can lose their radar as we reach second tackle and Coleman takes a hit up. Not sure he's the best bloke to be taking hit ups, but he does it anyway. As he heads on to Van Meritain and Van Meritain onto Sharp. Expansive play, one set of tram tracks to the other on the halfway. Luka Magic tries the pirouette, but the pirouette is not getting him through that line. It's last tackle. He's just on the Broncos side of halfway.
Oh, no.
Walmsley kicks it into one of his teammates back. Sharp has it. He's offloaded. He actually made some really good meters. And Lowe's brought down there for a handover. Well, that could have gone a lot worse for South Sydney, Danny.
Yeah, South Sydney probably could have lost that ball as Madden just got whacked. They probably could have lost that ball and it might have been picked up by a Broncos player. We saw Jack Carl run the length of the run about half the field before from a loose kick, and yeah, it was scarily similar to that.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Danny, as Liam Ryan brought down on the halfway, fourth tackle. Rossini stares at it. There flies a very flat ball to Caleb J, who's absolutely monstered in the tackle. Not sure that was the fourth tackle play there, Charlie. Fifth and last, heads back to Carl. Carl puts the big kick in this time, and it's down the throw to Freeburn. Freeburn takes it well. Freeburn doesn't have time to step, and he'll start the set about 15 metres out. We're into arm wrestle territory now, Danny. Who do you think's going to get this and get the next points?
I think the Broncos, just because Souths have done a lot more defending than them so far this game, so I think they're going to have a lot of fatigue, but this might change something. Luca Magic down the wing.
Yeah, great run there from Luca. In a former life known as Lightning McQueen, as he dishes it onto Lowe. Lowe hits it up. Last tackle, you got to assume they're going to go left, and they do. Van Meritain. This will be down the wing of, well, it's going to go to the centre Phillips instead, but rather than to Holmes. But that decision to let the ball bounce, Danny, that very, very risky.
Yeah, could have easily got trapped in the in goal there. Pretty lucky that he didn't, but Broncos fine now at their own ends. Third tackle, they'd really not want to concede points before halftime. They might go for a 20-40 here, actually.
Yeah, fourth tackle. And we do see Davis in the pocket, and he's put the big kick in. But Willamette was pretty well on it, and Willamette stayed in somehow. Well, form fullback of the league, he said at the start of the broadcast, Danny.
Yeah, that was a great play there from Wilmot, just staying into touch. And now his team's going to have the chance to put on points. So that's a massive play in the context of this game.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a try there, that's almost a 12-point turnaround, because a 20-40 would have been huge for the Broncos. Teams seem to do all right once they're getting through the defensive line, and Luca Magic brought down just 5 metres out. This has been South's best set of the game so far. What can they do here? It's on to Van Meritain. Van Meritain puts in the grubber. But it's Carl. And Carl, he's been given another chance. He's away. The one drops off, but the other rides him down. And Bronco's going to start this set, I should say, about 45 metres out. And Martin's going to make it over the 50, Danny. Well, can South buy a try?
Well, Carl has just saved a pretty certain try. I think he's honestly been the best player on the field tonight by like a lot. I don't think anyone's been close to how good he's been.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with that. Carl first, Daylight second as we reach half-time. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second half of your opening game of the SRL Round 9. Brisbane Broncos playing host to South Sydney. Brisbane have absolutely had it over the men in the red and green, up 12-0. With me in the commentary box, of course, Daniel Hellyer. And Danny, what would you take away from the first half?
I thought the Broncos were really good. I mean, 59% of the possession. They held a lot of the ball, and the Rabbits couldn't really do much. Big hit.
And he has picked up the crumbs there, and he has picked up a try. Sorry to cut you off there, Danny, but what a start to the second half. You said 24 points will win this. Well, now the Broncos are 2/3 of the way there with the kick to come. And who is that? That is Callum Murray, who has absolutely ironed out Butterfield, drops the ball, Rossini onto the crumbs, and that is an amazing try, Danny.
Yeah, Callum Murray just whacked someone off the ball, someone with the ball, and yeah, Rossini picking up the crumbs. Great try, great start from the Broncos. I mean, they're only 2 plays in, and they've already scored their third try.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. And it's funny because we were talking about high completion rates, 14 out of 15 for the Broncos and 10 from 12.
Oh, sorry. shit. I was just gonna make sure the recording was working.
Oh, okay. Is it working?
Ah, yeah, it's good.
Alright, sweet.
Alright, because I stopped it like after your mic stopped working, and I was like, oh shit, imagine I like forgot about it. But then like,
It would have
nah,
been
it's
a
good.
hell of a sim to dick the Broncos on.
Yeah, Jack Carr would not have been happy. Alright. Alright, we're good.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep, count us in.
Alright.
And yeah, so 10 out of 13 now you'd expect for South Sydney as Willamette kicks us off again. He probably wasn't hoping to take a kick off so soon after half time. Sends it deep. And it's Liam Ryan with it. Man of the hour, or one of them, had a pretty good first half, but I think the statisticians might be overstating his impacts. Probably not overstating Wilmet's though, making 100 metres in that first half. And Luka Magic only 87 metres, but a whopping 3 line breaks. Great work from the winger as the ball heads out to Davis. Gets wrestled down on the halfway. 4th tackle, and no suggestion of a set restart as Carl takes a hit up. Not his best run of the game, but he still makes good metres. We've got to the last one. Davis takes it and sends it deep down that wing of Luka Magic. He steps past one, but gets brought down. Danny, what does South need to do to get in this game?
Souths need to just start getting a bit more of the possession here, you know. Obviously in the first half they didn't have a lot of it, and if they can get some more ball, they can get their threats like Wilmot and Magic for a bit more space.
And space is just something South Sydney seem to lack. A couple of those, well, one of those tries, Jack Carl's in particular, was off an absolutely terrible kick where I think it was South Sydney's lock who absolutely cannoned it into one of his own players. As that goes down the wing of Holmes, Holmes steps one, makes a little half break, but ridden down there by South Sydney. Brisbane starting in good field position again though, as Liam Ryan gets a risky offload to Murray. I think that might be Butterfield looking for a square up. Hits the head of Micaiah, but he regathers. 3rd tackle on the 40. Broncos going nowhere after a promising start. Dishes out into centre field. Martin brought down on the halfway in centre field. 4th tackle, Davis onto Micaiah. Micaiah pushing, driving hard, brought down 50 or 41 metres out, I should probably say. Heads over to Davis. Davis puts another kick down the wing of Magic. What can Magic do? He can step, he can make a half break, but he can also get smashed by Davis. Danny, Brisbane's doing a pretty good job of pinning him in the corner here.
Yeah, Brisbane doing a great job so far. Yeah, they're doing a really good job in defense, really good job in attack as well. And the Rabbits don't really have any answers for the Brisbane defensive line.
No, they don't at the moment. Joshua Lowe, who we saw brought down early in this set, as Coleman goes for the 40-20. Maybe this is the way through. Liam Ryan feels it, and he's gone into touch. Well, he caught that on the full, but he just could not get himself into the field of play. Probably would have been interesting if that would have gone out on the full. I don't think it actually would have after all. That this is probably the first real big mistake we've seen from Brisbane all game, as Wilmette shimmies, steps, but brought down 7 metres out. For Meritain onto Guy. Guy, it's 1-on-1. He's driving, and there's the first try for South Sydney. It's taken them 48 minutes, but they finally got there, Danny.
Yeah, well, that was a beautiful ball from Meriton. He just held it up, showed it to the Brisbane defenders, and made them bite. And Guy just, a lot of strength there to get over the line. Wrestled about 5 or so metres just to get to the line, and then strengths his way over. And the Bunnies, they have their first try. 12 points will be the deficit.
Yeah, South Sydney desperately needed that try because, as you said earlier, 24 points wins this game. We've had 24 points, but now it's split across two teams. As Liam Ryan gears up to take his second kick off of the game. Sending it deep into his right. The favoured tactic of the SRL kickers, fielded by Coleman. Coleman runs it up into the teeth of Brisbane's defence, taken down by Murray and Carl. As it gets dished off to Walmsley of the shocking kick in the first half. Heads out to Wilmette, though. Wilmette, indeed.
Oh,
On to Guy. Guy hits it off one. Absolutely belted Carl, who struggles to get back on side. Do we see the HIA come into this game? Walmsley runs it forward again. Fourth tackle. Someone gets out of the way and it goes on to Guy again. You got it, well, fifth and last. You've got to figure they're going to go for the punt here with the distance, and Van Meritain does just that. Down to Holmes. Holmes fills it well. The number 2 for each team seeming to be the preferred kick target for both teams. Danny, what do you reckon that might be?
Maybe. Well, I'm actually not sure. Is Jack Carl another fan?
Good work in attack here from Carl all game, really.
Oh,
I mean, and that is an absolute monster of a hit. And South's come up with it through Kevin Walmsley. And that's 6 again. Do we get the penalty? No, we don't. That foul was so professional. It pretty much had its own SRL contract. And McDonald, who of course has come off of Corey Bell at halftime, along with Collins off and Manning coming on. So some changes there for South. And all the changes are in the outside back for Brisbane, with Lee off for Hitchens and Phillips off for Crutcher. So at that 20-minute mark in about 7 minutes' time, we will, as Ted McDonald takes a good run out of dummy half, but he's stopped. Fifth tackle, it's all inside the 10. Van Meritain puts in a beautiful grubber. And that has somehow ended up in the arms of his halves partner. And Coleman gets South Sydney's second try. 6 points in it now, Danny. Things are just clicking for the men in red and green.
yeah, well, the Rabbits, they've just come back and, well, only 6 points in it, as you said, 12-18 the score. I think it's anyone's game now. Rabbits riding on some momentum here, and they've just been, building on the moments that they've been given. I mean, that big hit before, and the 40-20 obviously we saw before, really contributing to South's comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's been a bit of a trend in this game for tries after big hits. But all of Brisbane's halftime lead has now been eaten away by ravenous bunnies. 18-12. It's only that early second half try to Rossini in it. Can South keep coming back? Or can Brisbane put this game to bed with, really, you'd expect just one more try to do it. If Brisbane can score it, the prop forward takes down the halfback, who runs it back, and Butterfield, a more successful run after a kickoff this time. McDonald dishes it out to Van Meritain. Van Meritain, he really wants to fight the forwards at the moment, brought down by, I believe that's Rossini. The tackle onto Dixon. Dixon taking the hit for his half. It's what you like to see from your forwards. It's fourth tackle there on the 40. Do they go for? Yes, it's Coleman in the pocket. He puts in another big kick. It bounces. It might have the legs. It doesn't quite. It definitely had the angle, though, as Ryan pirouettes into the line, and he's brought down on the 30. Danny, what do you reckon the trick is to getting a really good 40-20?
Well, personally, from some experience, I was a pretty good 40-20 kicker in my time in 1.0. You just need to make sure you've lined it up properly, and you just sort of go through the motion that you go with it, but with a normal kick, but you just sort of angle it to the right or to the left, depending on which side you're kicking it to.
It's you definitely want to kick it to the side that you're aiming for. As we reach fifth tackle, Gilly puts in the kick. Carl, it's a big kick, and Willamette heads back into his in goal, but makes it well out before the Broncos defensive line gets to him. Makes it to the 20, but it's going to be played only just over the 20 by Butterfield on the 25 on the tram tracks. They go short side, Coleman onto Freeburn. Freeburn absolutely hammered in that tackle. Halfway through the set, they're almost at the 30. Meters gained at a bit of a premium here. Do they go for the... No, they don't go for the... Ted McDonald's going to take a run, and he's going to make it almost to the halfway. It's last tackle. I see Coleman in the pocket again. Coleman, he kicks it into his own player. I think that was actually Walmsley, and they're going to keep the ball alive, but Coleman, he's going to be wrestled down, and that is not the end to the set South needed, Danny.
Yeah, definitely. The Souths just not doing a great kick there. The Broncos ending up with possession, and the Broncos have a chance to break open this game once again.
Yeah, as it heads down to Madden, gets very close to the touchline, but he's definitely stayed in. Gets to his feet. Rossini onto Carl. Carl onto Micaiah. Micaiah absolutely pounded by the defence. South Sydney defence not having a bar of this Broncos attack in this set. Turns inside to Carl. Not sure that was the play. Fourth tackle. Do they go? No, they don't. And Davis wrapped up. Not what you want to see from your halves. Both teams falling into bad habits. Heads to Caleb J in the pocket. Down the winger Freeburn. It's been a while since he's taken a kick return, but he's well met there by the defence. Danny, where'd it go wrong for Brisbane in that set?
Yeah, Brisbane just not a lot going on there. They probably need to pass the ball around a bit more and try to find some openings, but South Sydney survive another one. Only 6 points in it. Both teams real opportunity to score some points here.
Yeah. And I mean, I can see 6 tries being scored in this game, but with the current iteration, as we see the 2040 attempt, Coleman's it's a big kick, and Ryan's run it into touch again. Not what Brisbane needed. He's done a Luke Short, Liam Ryan has. I thought he'd been playing all right earlier, but he's really, really letting his team down right now.
Yeah, well, Liam Ryan just really having a stinker now. Two kicks that, yes, they were great kicks, but he probably should have been able to keep them in there, as the Broncos just inviting the Rabbits back into their half.
Yeah, and Souths were going nowhere in that set. That was a 2040. Bell on as one of the replacement prop forwards, of course, and it'll be Collins as the other, while Jack Carl's decided to go all in on speed in this last 20 minutes. It's going to be Lee and Phillips on as the replacement props themselves. So, lots of speed, not so much power. Let's see if that works out as Manning comes up with the ball, but well handled there by the Broncos defence. Who needs to step up for either team to really put the nail in the coffin for this game?
I think Liam Ryan needs to improve on his game from the last, 20 minutes, and I think Ryan Wilmot really has to have a big impact, and so yeah, both fullbacks really need to step up here.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course Jack Carl about to head off, as will Walmsley in just a moment as the two men come together. Fifth tackle, 46 metres out from their own line. Need a big kick from Caleb J. It's big-ish, but not as big as it could have been. And Willamette sent someone flying. I think that's actually Phillips, who's a bit groggy on his feet. Of course, he's playing prop in the 9 jersey currently. That's second tackle. Donald looks at it, heads to Lowe. Lowe did have a great first half. 18 tackles, none missed. Didn't do the hugest amount with the ball, of course. Van Meritain back inside to Wilmette. Wilmette, now, he's a great fullback, but they can't just throw him at the line every play. As Murray takes a step, Murray makes good meters. And he'll play the ball 30 metres out from the Broncos line. It's last tackle. Heads to Coleman in the pocket, and Coleman puts it wide, forces Holmes to play at it. Holmes steps through one, but met by the second line of defence. Danny, we're back in the arm wrestle.
Yeah, it was a bit of a late substitution there. Only coming on, I think it was Jack Carl who came off. As Broncos working out their own ends, they really need to probably score another try to put it out of arm's reach.
Yeah, they won't score many tries like that, though. Ryan probably should have let it go. We now see the mousetrap attempt, but it hasn't got the angle. Bouncing ball, Wilmette forced to play at it. Not too bad, because Wilmette's pretty gassed, as you can see there. And Danny, how much can Wilmette do when he's just absolutely out on his feet?
Yeah, not much. I mean, he can probably still contribute in defense, but his attack is going to be not great, as we see there. He can't even really even put a sidestep on, so he's pretty gassed out there, and they really need some of their forwards probably to step up here.
Yeah, and it's another set where South has struggled to make meters. We're coming up to fifth tackle. They're on their own side of their 40. Do they go for another 40-20 attempt here? It heads to Manning. Not sure that he would have been the first choice kicker, the bench centre, but it's fielded by Madden, and Madden makes excellent meters. Starting the set, 47 meters out. They go short side onto Davis. Again, not sure you'd want your halves taking those hit-ups, but they're very determined to take them. Rossini sends it back inside. Talking about men that are out on their feet. Rossini is gassed. Lee making good meters, though. Of course, on as a bench prop. They go short again. It's on to Madden again. Madden absolutely belted by Luka Magic. Fourth tackle. Broncos are going nowhere in this set as well. Hannah Hitchens dishes it off to Lee. Lee pushing forward. Makes it over the 30. Broncos really would have been hoping for an attacking kick here, but they're not going to get one. Heads to Davis in the pocket, and he's looking for the winger Freeburn. Freeburn feels it well, no mistakes, but the defence is there. Broncos winning this field position battle, Danny.
Yeah, Broncos doing great right now. Rabbits look out on their feet. They look like they can't really do much at the moment. Warren Wilmot just got whacked.
And he's dropped the ball.
Yeah, and it looks like Broncos are going to get a set on the line. I think they're challenging it.
Checking if the ball is knocked forward.
That's definitely knocked on.
That's a knock on 7 days of the week. So there goes the captain's challenge. Of course, one of the SRL bets.
Oh no.
No, it's definitely one of the SRL bets this week. Of course, will there be 3 successful challenges? And we've seen one. And what was that pass from Micaiah? That was NFL-esque. What a brain explosion, Danny.
Yeah, this inviting Rabbits to score some points here. Rabbits still in the game right now as Freeburn makes a break there. They're going to probably have an attacking kick, you'd think.
Quite possibly. I'm just left speechless by that Micaiah pass. It was straight to a South Sydney player in front of him. I think we need the SRL Integrity Commission involved as it heads on to Van Meriton, heads on to Lowe, another man out on his feet, and there's an injury. Joshua Lowe, it's his wrist, so we'll see how things go. There's another substitute on the cards now for South Sydney, and given how shot Lowe was, maybe that's not a bad thing. His first tackle just on the 10. Micaiah throws another hospital ball, this time to Phillips rather than the South Sydney player. Second tackle, they're almost on the 20. They go short side, onto Holmes. Holmes ducks through the first line of defence, but I believe that's Coleman there to corral him on the 30. It's gone on to Dingo. Dingo wrestled back over the 30. Not a great mid-set for Brisbane as Crutcher steps into the line, gets halfway through, but not all the way. It's fifth tackle. They haven't made the 40. Caleb J, that might have been from inside the 40, but it won't matter because Freeburn gets it on the full. Brought down there by Chaz Dingo. Danny, did you happen to see at all who came on for Joshua Lowe?
Not really sure. It might have been... Who's in the headgear?
Which headgear?
The black one.
Not entirely sure, but that would make a lot of sense. As we see the offload to McDonald. South's attack a little bit disjointed currently. 3 minutes to play. South Sydney, it's now or never. Heads down to the wing of Madden. It looks like that second half try for the Broncos might actually have been the match winner all along, Danny. As Liam makes a break, sorry. I'll cut you off before you start because Liam, he's out on his feet. So's Wilmette. It heads inside to Lee. And Danny, that was the start of the set that Brisbane needed.
Yeah, definitely is. The Broncos in some field position here. The Rabbits, if they're going to get the ball, they're going to have to work it out their own end here. Try and score some points. They'll get an attacking kick.
I don't know. It might be a bomb, but I think it's more likely a punt. Goes to... No, it is the bomb. Davis has put it up very, very high. It's gone to a contest and Dylan Murray's under it. Very safe pair of hands. Well called, Danny. What does South need to do here to get up the other end of the field? There's a minute to play.
I think South Sydney need to pass it to their fullback. I think Ryan Wilmot, while he might be gassed, he still has a bit of legs. And, yeah.
Time rapidly running out for South Sydney. Heads onto Van Meritain. Heads onto Bell. Bell, 10 seconds to play. Will he get the ball played? Yes, he will. As the siren sounds, Van Meritain takes the kick, and it's fielded there well by Holmes. Holmes steps through one, forces Wilmette to tackle him, but that will be the end of the game, and it will be the Broncos 18-12. Danny, this has been one of probably the more clinical performances from both sides for most of the game, but where do you think the Broncos had the edge?
I think the Broncos just had the edge with some of their middles. I think their middles stepped up a lot more than the Rabbits ones did. And we'll look at some of the possession here. I mean, it ended up being pretty even. Obviously, the Broncos had 60% at halftime, but ended up being Rabbits had more in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Very similar completion rates, of course, as well. Very similar tackles and very similar missed. The only real difference was about an extra 100 metres, I think, for the Broncos. And Rossini, yeah, he definitely had a decent game.
Definitely.
As we'll run through some Broncos stats. Danny, you want to take us through them?
Yeah, Jack Kyle, 250 metres. He played exceptional today. I think he was man of the match here. 21 tackles, only 2 missed. Lots of stuff going on there for him. Jet Davis, 300 metres kicking. He was pretty great as well. He had a really solid game, leading his team around the park. Kai Madden in his last game was solid, 62 metres. Liam Martin, pretty good as well, 112 running metres. Liam Ryan, those stats are definitely inflated, but he also had a solid game apart from those 2 times he ran the ball out. Charlie Rossini was obviously good as well. And yeah.
Yeah. In that case, let's head over to South Sydney. No glory tonight, but let's see if anything stands out. Walmsley cracked the 100 metres in the 65-minute stint at lock, and I don't think those stats are inflated. 24 tackles, 4 missed. And Coleman, absolute beast with the boot. 444 kick metres from 11 kicks. He got South Sydney back in the game in a lot of ways because it was those two kicks that were 40-20 or 40-20 adjacent that Liam Ryan ran into touch. Well, met 171 metres. Not his best performance, but workmanlike as always. Then Meritain, he took a lot more of the attacking kicks in those times when South Sydney had the ball. He set up both of the tries for South Sydney. Corey Bell, very solid stint at hooker and prop. Didn't do anything too wrong. Made lots of tackles, made a few metres. And McDonald did all right as well in his stint at hooker. And let's head down to Luke. That's all we've got time for. Hang on.
Luca Magic, right here.
Yeah, Luca Magic. Yeah, he had a great first half. Made another 2 line breaks in the second half. A really solid performance, and one that would probably fly under the radar a lot. So I do believe that is all we have time for this evening. Thanks very much for joining us. It's been Blair Curtin, and with me in the box, Daniel Hellier. Thank you.